George, I'd like to begin with this week's Twitter dust-up. As ugly and hateful as it was, and of course it involved a member of our family here and a friend to many of us, was it a distraction in the end, or is it germane because of what it says about character?
It's both. The president does like to change the subject, and he uses Twitter to do that. Now, I think that's preferable to him using, say, cruise missile attacks on a country or a nice little war on the Korean Peninsula. But it does seem to be tactical. In that sense, it seems to be not just a failure of impulse control, but an impulse with a purpose.
You mentioned the Korean Peninsula. That's one of two other subjects among many looming. The president's house guest, the leader of South Korea, and health care, with all of Washington moving out to their home states and districts, all the elected representatives. These two subjects loom large, but again, there's a laundry list of things behind them.
There is. It's hard to know what the members going home are going to hear from their constituents, because the constituents are in the process of changing their minds. First of all, the Republicans seem to have done something that Barack Obama, for all his trying and all his vaunted rhetorical powers, was unable to do. That is, they seem to have made Obamacare kind of popular, at least more popular than the alternative at this point seems to be. I'm not convinced that the Republican bill is dead. Mr. McConnell is a magician at getting votes together, and we're largely in the realm of splittable differences. The one thing to watch, I think, is a measure put in that bill by Senator Toomey of Pennsylvania. It's the first real serious attempt to reform an out-of-control entitlement, in that it would, over an 8-year period, begin to restrain the growth of the Medicaid program. That will cause difficulties within the Republican caucus, but it is of such importance. And by the way, its importance is not that it's part of repealing Obamacare. Its importance is that it's the first time the Republicans have really begun to make good on their attempt to rein in entitlements which, if not reined in, are going to swallow the budget.
Well, this issue now has the attention of a good many American people for good reason. Are you concerned about the president's lack of ideology or granularity or some would say involvement on this issue, or do you think that can be made up for?
You're being polite. The problem is that the president doesn't know what he's talking about. This is the man who said no one knew health care was so complicated, whereas everyone who'd spent 10 minutes thinking about it knew it was so complicated. I think it may be that the president's pristine absence of knowledge about health care may help at this point, because he doesn't have strong feelings, and he can't really get in the way of those, Mr. Portman, say, on one side, and Mr. Toomey on another, who have strong convictions bolstered by lots of information. So in this sense, the president being out of it is probably a good thing.
How do you think health care turns out, and when do you think pen goes to paper at the White House?
Well, remember, let's just assume that Mr. McConnell can get 50 votes and with Pence breaking the tie. It goes back to the House. Now, the House had a very difficult time putting together a small and fragile coalition to send their bill to the Senate, which the Senate then rejected. That means we go to conference. And it's not at all clear to me that anything that can satisfy the senators in the conference can hold together the coalition, the fragile coalition in the House, particularly the men of Mark Meadows' Freedom Caucus. So this is a very long way from reaching the president's desk. By the way, the president has said in the past that a single-payer system works quite well in other countries. In the unlikely event that this happened, if Democrats and others got together and sent the president a single-payer system, I think he'd sign it in a heartbeat.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.